Welcome to my channel, where I recap the most epic movies ever made in 10 minutes or less. Today, I'm going to talk about 300, the movie that made us all want to be Spartans. 300 is a 2006 action film directed by Zack Snyder, based on the comic series by Frank Miller and Lynn Varley. It tells the story of the legendary Battle of Thermopylae, where 300 Spartan warriors led by King Leonidas faced off against a massive Persian army led by King Xerxes. It's a movie that celebrates courage, honor, and freedom, with stunning visuals, amazing fight scenes, and memorable quotes. So, let's get started. The movie begins with a narration by Dilios, one of the 300 Spartans, who tells us the history and culture of Sparta, a city-state in ancient Greece that prides itself on its military prowess and discipline. He tells us how every Spartan boy is trained from birth to be a warrior, and how only the strongest and the bravest survive. He also introduces us to Leonitis, the king of Sparta, who was born with a warrior's spirit and proved himself in the wild by killing a ferocious wolf. That we then see Leonitis as an adult, played by Gerard Butler, who is visited by a Persian messenger, who demands that Sparta submit to the rule of Xerxes, the god-king of Persia, who has conquered most of the known world. Leonitis refuses to bow down, and kicks the messenger into a deep well, declaring war on Persia. He then consults the oracle, a priestess who speaks for the gods, to seek their blessing for the war. However, the oracle is corrupted by a group of elders called the Ephors, who are bribed by a traitorous Spartan politician named Theron, who is in league with Xerxes. The oracle tells Leonitis that he cannot go to war, because it would violate a sacred festival called the Carnea. Leonitis is frustrated, but he decides to go anyway, with a small force of 300 of his best men, who volunteer to join him. He says that he is not going to war, but to take a stroll with his personal bodyguard. He also leaves behind his wife, Queen Gorgo, played by Lena Headey, who promises to support him and to rally the Spartan council to send reinforcements. Leonitis and his men march to the narrow pass of Thermopylae, where they meet a group of Arcadians, another Greek city-state, who have also come to fight the Persians. Together, they prepare to face the enemy, who arrive in a vast fleet of ships, carrying hundreds of thousands of soldiers, elephants, horses, and other beasts. Xerxes, played by Rodrigo Santoro, is a towering figure, covered in gold and piercings, who claims to be a god. He sends a messenger to Leonitis, offering him wealth and power if he surrenders. Leonitis rejects the offer, and throws a spear at Xerxes, grazing his cheek and drawing blood. He then shouts, "This is Sparta." And the battle begins. The Spartans, using their superior tactics, formation, and skill, manage to hold off the Persian waves, killing thousands of them with their spears, swords, and shields. They also use the terrain to their advantage, funneling the enemy into the narrow pass, where their numbers are useless. They face various challenges, such as the immortals, the elite soldiers of Xerxes, who wear masks and wield blades, the Persian archers, who fire arrows that block out the sun, and the giant rhino and elephant, who charge at the Spartans. But the Spartans overcome them all, with their courage, strength, and wit. They also display their humor, sarcasm, and camaraderie, as they joke, tease, and inspire each other. They are led by Leonitis, who is a fearless and charismatic leader, who fights alongside his men, and motivates them with his speeches. Meanwhile, in Sparta, Queen Gorgo tries to convince the Spartan council to send the army to help Leonitis, but she faces opposition from Theron, who accuses her of treason and adultery. He also reveals that he has the backing of the Ephors, who have denounced Leonitis as a heretic. Gorgo then exposes Theron as a traitor, and stabs him with a knife, revealing the Persian coins that he has taken as a bribe. She then urges the council to honor their king and their warriors, and to unite with the other Greeks against the Persian threat. Back at Thermopylae, Leonitis is informed by a deformed Spartan named Ephialtes, who has betrayed him, that the Persians have found a secret path that leads behind the Spartan lines. He realizes that he has been outflanked, and that his men are doomed. He then sends Dilios back to Sparta, to tell their story and to rally the Greeks for the final stand. He then prepares for the last battle, knowing that he and his men will die, but hoping that their sacrifice will inspire the rest of Greece to fight for their freedom. He also has a vision of his wife, who tells him that she loves him and that he has given them hope. The next day, Xerxes launches his final assault, with his entire army and his personal guard. Leonitis and his men fight valiantly, killing as many Persians as they can, but they are eventually overwhelmed by the sheer numbers and the arrows. Leonitis is the last one standing, and he faces Xerxes, who offers him one last chance to surrender. Leonitis refuses, and throws his spear at Xerxes, missing his head, but cutting his face. He then falls to the ground, surrounded by his dead comrades, and dies with a smile, knowing that he has wounded the god king and that his men have died with honor. The movie ends with Dilios, who has returned to Sparta, and is now leading a larger army of 10,000 Spartans and 30,000 Greeks, who are ready to face the Persians at the Battle of Plataea. He gives a rousing speech, praising Leonitis and the 300, and calling them the bravest and the finest warriors the world has ever known. He then charges into battle, with the words, "For Sparta, for freedom, to the death." And that's 300, the movie that made us all want to be Spartans. It's a movie that shows us the power of courage, honor, and freedom, and the glory of fighting for what we believe in. It's a movie that has amazing visuals, awesome fight scenes, and epic quotes. I hope you enjoyed this recap, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more movie recaps. And let me know in the comments, what do you think of 300? Do you agree with Leonidas' decision? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.